I was just wondering, so when we come to that place, are we going to actually feel similar to how we did when we were children?
You're going to feel oppressed, like you're going to feel in the world that we live in, it's very hard to live. You're going to be very sensitive to the pain that people cause you. You're going to be very sensitive to any pain that you cause somebody else, and so forth. And you're also sensitive to your old pain that is stored inside of yourself.
Yeah.
You're sensitive to that, and you just let yourself, and this is what we'll talk about in a minute, what releasing the pain looks like. But you're so sensitive that when you notice it's there, it just comes out of you. There's no need to even select it or to work it out.
Yeah. And like with the positive sort of things, would we also like sort of express ourselves more like we used to when we were children?
Yes, you'll also, and we'll talk about over the following 2 days, the last 2 days, how you'll also in this place start to see bits of your real self poking through now. Yeah. So you know how with your facade you've basically hidden your real self with a curtain in front of it, right? And you're really just projecting an image of yourself in front of that curtain to the world. And once you get through this stage, you no longer desire to project an image of yourself to the world because you've gotten rid of the desire to do so, because all of the desire to sin has been released from you, or a lot of it, the desire to sin, not all of it, because the desire to sin comes from the avoidance of pain, not pain itself. Does that make sense? So the desire to sin has come from really the justification for the addictions. It causes the desire to sin.
I'm getting a bit confused, but...
The pain is just pain.
Yep.
And it doesn't need to cause you to sin.
Oh, like you were saying the other day.
Like we were saying last night.
2 different people can be abused or something in the same way, but choose different...
Correct.
Yep.
So by this stage, you're seeing that the choices you made here, you've released the reasons why you wanted to choose that. Does that make sense? And as a result of that, you're sort of like a child now who has no desire to hurt anybody.
Okay, and that's the place where you're just willing to feel...
You're willing to feel other people's hurt of you and your own hurt that's inside of yourself, and your own hurt of yourself, because that's where lack of love of self is, but you're not willing to hurt someone else in order to avoid it anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
Up here, you were willing to do that. Down here, you're not willing to do that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Thank you.
Your will has been developed now in the opposite direction than the will had been developed in the reversal issue. You see, if you look at how the will has been developed in your diagram, and most of you I notice have a printout of that diagram, you'll see the associated will development of that particular diagram. So here you see the will being used negatively in each case to create the next layer. Well, what we've done is we've now used our will to deconstruct each layer, which has meant engaging a lot of very positive will-based choices that we've made. And as we've done that, we've learnt a lot of things, and we've learnt the destructiveness of sin. So it's highly unlikely we'll want to engage it. And when we do, if we ever do, because we still feel some pains occasionally, and we unfortunately sin occasionally, what happens is we're gutted by it. We feel terrible about it in that place. And it's not a self-punishment. It's just that we feel terrible because we're so sensitive to each pain that results from a sin we've created, because we're sensitive to it now. Before we weren't. So we're like this childlike, sensitive individual who now has awareness about sin, rather than not knowing, not understanding, not knowing what the causes of pain are. Wonderful place to be, actually. Yeah.